And this is the Mercedes-Benz Rangers postgame show. And amid the challenge of Colorado's high flyers and high altitude, the Rangers allowed a memorable night to vanish into thin air. 3-2 the final in overtime. The Avalanche over the Rangers inside our Delta MSG studios. Thanks for staying up late, everyone. Alongside Steve Valiquette, I'm John Giannone. So much to take from tonight's game, Steve, for sure. Most notably, the 1 point in the standings that they take. Now points in 5 straight. But I think it's going to take a hot minute or two to get over losing this in the final 73 seconds.
Yes. But there's a but attached to this one, because the way that the Avs started this hockey game, they had a commanding look to them and a dominance that the Rangers never were overwhelmed by. You can't say the Rangers didn't create enough offense in this hockey game. They had 3 breakaways in the first period. They had 2 breakaways in the second. Zibanejad had a breakaway chance to end it in overtime. There was plenty of offense. There was plenty of resiliency in the second and third period and pushback. Shesterkin doesn't have goal number 2, and it's not a good one for me. It goes through him and it lays there. Lindgren may have stopped playing for a moment, thinking that his goalie had it. There were a few mistakes, but to me, there was enough of the team building itself back up from where they were 7 weeks ago to now where there's more fight and they're pushing. And, that's why this is a tough one, because as a team, it's not a bad game. Mm-hmm. The goalie could have helped his team on goal number 2, and for what it's worth, goal number 3.
Yeah, and we're going to take a look at that now, because the Rangers got to the point where Colorado had to pull their goalie. With 73 seconds left, they score the equalizer because of a defensive structure and a whole lot of block shots, 23 in all on the night. But then it was Artturi Lehkonen off the rebound to tie it, and then it was Devon Toews in overtime to win it.
And again, I think that when you're replaying each situation in this game, overall, structurally, defense, you're happy with the defense. You're happy with the way the guys are battling. And I think that when you're getting to the point where it's 2-1 score, you're playing against a recent Stanley Cup champion that's a contender this season, you're playing with a lot of emotion here. It feels like a playoff game. And when the puck comes out here, it's a clean look for Igor. And it feels bad. It looks bad. It feels bad. It's got a stench to it when it gets through there. He knows it. He wants another shot at it. And now you're going to overtime, and you do have an opportunity to win it on a power play in overtime. They had their looks, 5 shots, I believe it was, on goal on that power play. And the one-timer, Igor gets his left knee up, and it should stay down. It typically stays down, and he reacts up as if he's, I guess, reading that he thinks it's going to go high. And look, you can tell by the reaction, he knows he should have had that as well, because it's a one-timer from outside the slot area. It's for Igor. We've seen him here enough to know that's relatively routine for him. Yeah,
Rantanen and McKinnon had the assists on the game-tying goal. McKinnon and O'Connor the assists on Devon Toews' game winner. 3-2 the final, and it was the Colorado Avalanche in overtime over the Rangers. Let's begin our post-game reaction inside the Rangers dressing room. One of the 2 goal scorers was Sam Carrick. Let's hear from him.
I don't know, overall, it was a pretty good effort. A couple breakdowns for us, or both teams really, and they had the slight edge there, but I thought overall it was a pretty good effort. It's not an easy building to come in and play, and I thought our guys battled hard.
How do you evaluate kind of just the start of the road trip on a whole? You get 3 out of 4 points against good teams, but obviously you wanted the 4th one.
For sure, you gotta look at things in the positive way, and it's been. I think we're really turning things around here, and it would have been nice to get both points there, but we'll learn from it, move on to next game.
You had the shorthanded goal. Just can you walk us through kind of what you were thinking with all the ice and the move you wanted to go to?
Yeah, I don't know, just a turnover, and I obviously had the breakaway, and I have only a select few moves that I usually do in practice, so that was one of them, and thankfully it worked out.
Sam Carrick talking about his goal, which came midway through the first period. His line mate Adam Edstrom scored midway through the second. Those were the 2 Ranger goals. We're going to look at both inside the film room, powered by CDW, show you how the Rangers were able to put 2 past Mackenzie Blackwood, who again was pretty darn good.
And look, I think that when you reflect on this game, you're proud of a few things. You're proud of the support, the stacking of effort that you're getting from the bottom six that's really elevating the top six and pushing everybody along. And a lot of that effort you're seeing in places like the penalty kill. There were 2 penalty kills here for the Rangers in the game where Colorado didn't get a single shot. There's a lot of pressure, and a guy like Carrick is playing with speed right now that separates, and this is surprising. Makar is one of the best skaters in the league, and Carrick's able to get enough separation that he can actually make a move across the middle of the ice twice. And that's why Blackwood is left off to his right side. He just pushes, anticipating it being a simple move, and it's a great move. It's a top 6 move. And then for the Rangers to be able to win off their own face-off in their own zone and be able to have that long pressure. Rempe, long guy, good skater, straight ahead, and then have that support from Carrick. And you've got Edstrom out there who's really putting himself in a spot here where he's just playing consistent, straightaway hockey game after game. And you talk about stacking efforts. This is his 2nd breakaway in the game. This time just elevates the puck a little bit higher, over the pad, under the glove. And look, when I'm talking to shooters about how to score on goalies on breakaways, when you get to the bottom hash, it's not an elevated shot high anymore. It's a sniper's goal to have it over the pad, but under the hands. Oftentimes, the lefty goes low blocker, and he chooses to go low glove. Pretty neat. I mean, we're seeing a lot from these young guys now that are really helping you get a good forecast of what it's going to be like in the future, getting that support.
For Edstrom, goals in consecutive games. For Carrick, 3 goals in his last 6. We told you about the 23 Ranger block shots. It came from 12 different players. One of them, Braden Schneider, had 2 of the blocks. Let's hear from Schneider after the 3-2 overtime loss.
Yeah, I think it's nothing to be. It's disappointing to lose, but I thought for 60 minutes, I thought we were working. I thought we were battling hard. I thought we were creating lots of chances, and I thought we were playing really good D. Things happen, and they got a couple, and it's good to get a point on the road here, and we'll move on to the next one.
How important is it to be mentally strong after a game like this, given how things are going, but you guys are on the up, especially playing against some pretty good teams?
Yeah, I think it's a disappointing loss, but at the same time, I think we have a lot of positive things to look at. I think our forecheck, we were turning pucks over, taking things to the net. I think our defense, we were closing plays and breaking out clean. I think there's lots of positives to take from this, so I think it's just move on and keep bringing what we're doing and keep trying to win.
Have you made of Sam Carrick for the last, whole season, but just the way that he's been able to get on the board in the last few games?
Yeah, he's a heart and soul guy for us. He kills penalties hard. He plays and works in the defensive zone hard, and he has the skill to make things happen offensively. And I thought that shorthanded goal he got tonight was a perfect example of working for your chances, and then there was a sweet goal and a sweet move to cap it off. So I think he's been playing amazing, and it's great to see because he brings it every night. And he might not always be on the scoreboard like he was tonight, but he's always there and being a positive difference for us. Thank you.
Yeah, he's been playing great, I think. You maybe from the outside notice more because, the puck's going in the back of the net for him or he set up guys, but I think he does a lot of little things throughout the year that go unnoticed and help us win games. So it's good to see someone like that get rewarded with the puck going in the back of the net, but I think he's been really solid all year.
You get Phil and Chris back, so they're getting healthier. So these are all good signs for you, are they not?
Of course, you want everyone healthy, everyone in. You want your best lineup out there, and it's good to have guys back. I think we've been playing good hockey, so that's definitely a positive for us.
Okay, thanks, Adam.
Fox, Schneider, Carrick, trying to look at the positives from tonight. As Schneider said, disappointing for sure, but do you feel like a night like tonight, regardless of the result in the 64th minute, gives you reason to believe that the worst of what we saw from the Rangers in those 6 weeks is behind us? Yeah,
and you know what, John? I think that the players will say it in small groups to each other, something like, you know what, Shesty's usually there for us. He didn't have this one. We played a great game. It was a coin flip game in the end. We could have closed them out. I don't think that they take this loss seriously to a detriment the way that the losses were for several weeks there because of no effort, lack of compete, no emotion. The team's past that now. And so right now everybody's locked in on what are we doing, how are we going to sort it, and how are we going to climb the standings. But I think that as a player, you kind of dismiss this one because you know what? Usually the goalie helps us, and on this one he didn't.
Yeah, that standings climb takes a step back. Rangers finished the night 5 behind Columbus for that second wild card spot in the East.